my dear students. I would like to welcome you to our English 808 for the Vocational Education students. This is our first lesson and we are going to start with Unit 7 and a writing lesson which is writing a personal note. Before we start, I'd like to present the lesson objectives that we are going to accomplish today. The first objective is to identify new vocabularies and expressions related to thanking. Number 2, we're going to identify the layout of writing a thank you note. And last but not least, we're going to write a thank you note. Starting with the first objectives, I would like to ask you a question. What are the ways to say thank you? In other words, what are the replacements of thank you? In order not to repeat thank you all the time, we have other ways to say thank you. Let's see. We could say, it's so kind of you. Or, I'm grateful. Please accept my deepest thanks. I couldn't have done it without you. And of course, there are other ways to say thank you. Now, this is a very important question, which is the concept of our lesson. When do we send a thank you note to others? Pay attention to this. I'm not asking you, when do we say thank you to others? Because if I asked you this question, the answer could be anything. On giving you something or in helping you or anything, you could say thank you. But there are some cases that you need to send a written thank you note to others. What are they? Can you think? Let's see. For example, for helping you in organizing an event. In this case, I need to send a thank you note to someone. Or for arranging a birthday party. In this case, you need to send a thank you note to show your appreciation and gratitude. Let's see. Also, for doing a task for you. If someone helped you in doing a task on your behalf, you need to send him or her a thank you note. To finish with, preparing a dinner party. For example, if someone prepared for a party, it's not necessarily that it's a dinner party. In this case, you need to send him or her a thank you note. Let's go further. Of course, if you want to write a thank you note to anyone, there are certain words and expressions and vocabularies that you need to mention or include in your writing. Let's see. I'll start with a very important concept, which is thank you for volunteering at. There are some people who volunteer in doing some stuff. So, in this case, you need to send them a thank you note. But before I go on, let me stop here. What is the meaning of voluntary work? What is voluntary work? Can you think? You may use your dictionaries to help you in finding the meaning of this word. Why? Because I'm going further into discussion about this word. Organizing an event. This is a very important expression that you may use in your thank you note if it is related to organizing an event or a celebration or a party. Let's go and see further. If someone gave you good recommendations about the event that you have arranged for, in this case, you need to write or to mention in your thank you note that the process ran smoothly or efficiently. This word is very important. I appreciate your assistance or your help. The event was a huge success. Of course, when everything finishes with being a successful event, in this case, you need to thank the doer or the volunteer for making this event a huge success. Everything was well organized. In this case, when you say well organized, here you are you are mentioning that everything was organized in a perfect way. So instead of saying this and it was organized in a perfect way, it's very easy and simple to say it was well organized. I'll stop you here and I'll give you a very simple and short exercise about the vocabularies that we have studied. Let's see. I'll ask you to fill in the below gaps using the proper vocabulary from the books. There is an extra word. Pay attention to the extra word. I think I'll give you 2 minutes to do this and then we will discuss it together. Now it's time to see the model answer or the suggested answers for this exercise. Number 1, if you do your homework efficiently, you will finish quicker. What's the meaning of efficiently? Doing homework efficiently. It means doing it in a perfect way. We need a volunteer to take pictures. Here is where I told you that we are going to discuss the meaning of volunteer. Volunteer means that if there is someone has the initiative to do a task or anything without getting anything in return or without getting paid, in this case he is a volunteer or he is doing a voluntary work. The birthday party was well organized. As I have discussed before, when everything goes well, this is the way that we should describe it. They presented the school's facilities on our first day. What's the meaning of facilities? Facilities are the places related to a certain, for example, school or a mall. So, in this case, we use the word facilities. They invited me to a VIP event next Saturday. Event has a lot of synonyms. We could say occasion. We could say anything that shows the meaning of event. Our school's festival was a success. As I have explained before, we can say a huge success. It's enough just to say success without describing it with huge. It could be also big. So the extra word here that we have is the party. Now we are done with the first objective. Let's move to the second objective, which is the layout of writing a thank you note. As you can see, we have 3 main paragraphs at a thank you note. Also, all of them are important. Let me start with the first paragraph. The first one is reason of writing the note, or let's say in other words, the purpose. Why are you writing this thank you note? Is it for voluntary work? Is it for someone who arranged a birthday party for you? It depends on the main topic. Plus, you have to mention where and when. For example, it was a birthday party at my house last weekend. This is just an example. Let's move to the second paragraph. Here is the details paragraph. In this case, here, you have to describe the event details. For example, what did the visitors or the participants do? What happened in details exactly there? And the last paragraph, which is the conclusion, there has to be a special thank. For example, you thank the doer or the volunteer for his or her job. Plus, you have to show gratitude. Here in this paragraph, you use the vocabs and the words, expressions that we have studied previously in the previous slides. Now, can you think of occasions that we should thank others for volunteering? Now, you may wonder in yourselves, what are the things that, or what are the occasions that needs to have a thank you note? Let me see the example here, which is given. It is organizing a graduation party. Let me see other examples. Organizing a birthday party, as I have previously discussed. Preparing for family day. Arranging a book fair. Preparing for National Day party. Now, the chosen topic that we are going to have a writing model on is preparing for National Day celebration. Let's see what's coming up next. Here, I want you to imagine that we are here ready to arrange for a National Day party, and we need someone to volunteer in order to arrange a program for the National Day party. There is a volunteer called Ben. Ben volunteered. He arranged for the events, for the program, for everything related to the National Day party. So now our mission is to send him a thank you note. Let's see. Let's start with the first part, which is the introduction. Dear Ben. Now Ben is the volunteer. I'm writing to thank you for volunteering. The words that we have discussed are highlighted in purple. At the National Day celebrated at the school last Thursday. As you can see, we have mentioned the purpose of writing this thank you note, that because we want to thank him for being a volunteer. Plus, I have mentioned the time, which is last Thursday, and the place, which is at the school. Having your help at arranging the program made the event run smoothly and efficiently. I appreciate giving your personal time to work with us. If I mentioned all of these details, it will be perfect because I have mentioned the details needed for an introduction for a thank you note. Let's move and go on to the second paragraph, which is the body. Let's see. Our National Day celebration was a huge success. Pay attention to these highlighted in purple as we have discussed them, and they're very important to be mentioned in a thank you note. Over 300 students and teachers were more than happy. Teachers benefited from the book fair that you have arranged for. Now we come to the part of students. Students were very happy, or so happy, with the fun activities and the national music as well as the traditional food served. Pay attention that we are putting so much details here, and this is what is required from us to do. We have to mention details about the event itself. Fine. Parents who attended also had the opportunity to see the school's facilities. And again, we are coming to the word facilities. In part 3, which is the conclusion, here is where I thank and show gratitude. Let's see it together. Thanks to volunteers like you, the school was able to impress the visitors and show the importance of celebrating the National Day in Bahrain schools. I couldn't have done it without you. Pay attention that there are two thanking and showing gratitude expressions here. Started with thanks and ended it with this expression when I said, I couldn't have done it without you. Of course, my dear students, you are allowed to use any thanking expression if you'd like to replace those. As long as you are thanking the reader, you are on the safe side. Before I end this lesson, I'll just give you a task to do it further. I'll ask you to write a thank you note to someone who volunteered at any event. You could think about any event and you practice writing a thank you note to that person who volunteered. You may follow the structure of the text from your books. I'll ask you to open your English 808 book, which is Project Success Level 2, page 96 in specific. You will find the model writing. I will ask you to include words and expressions related to thanking. Don't forget to use the expressions related to thanking because it will make your text or the writing look very, very interesting and too well. Here we come to the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and you liked it. Try to practice further and we will see you very soon in the next lesson. Thank you.